Remote work is often painted as the playground of software engineers and digital marketers, but the education sector has quietly staged its own online revolution. In 2025, the classroom is no longer a room at all. It's a Wi-Fi connection and a webcam, connecting learners to experts at light speed. Schools, corporations, and ed-tech startups are scrambling to fill virtual roles that didn't even exist a decade ago. If you love teaching, or simply crafting learning experiences, there's never been a better time to swap the chalkboard for the cloud. Today, we're diving into 10 of the best-paying, most future-proof remote education jobs you can land this year. I'll walk you through what each role actually does, why it works so well from home, the skills that employers crave, and the growth paths that can take you from side gig to six-figure salary. Ready? Let's get learning. 1. Remote Education and Training Specialist. Corporate learning may sound dry, but it's booming. Modern companies understand that upskilling employees is cheaper than replacing them, and they need specialists who can design webinars, microcourses, and job aids that actually stick. As a training specialist, you'll meet with subject matter experts, translate business goals into engaging lessons, then track learner data to prove impact. The entire pipeline, storyboarding in the cloud, recording on Zoom, publishing to an LMS, can be done from a spare bedroom. Master Addy or Sam, polish your authoring tool skills in Articulate 360, and a median salary north of $60,000 is well within reach. Climb the ladder and you're looking at learning experience lead positions that clear six figures with ease. 2. Remote Online Tutor. Next up is the role everyone recognizes, the tutor, but turbocharged by high-speed internet. Whether it's algebra after school or conversational French for adults, platforms now match tutors with students around the globe. A good headset plus an interactive whiteboard can replicate almost everything a physical study session offers, minus the commute. Subject mastery and a personable on-camera presence matter more than formal credentials, making this ideal for entry-level educators. Hourly rates average close to $20, but niche expertise, think AP Physics or Mandarin, can double that. Many tutors eventually build micro-agencies, hiring peers and scaling their earnings far beyond solo sessions. 3. Remote Instructional Designer. If you'd rather engineer the course than teach it, instructional design sits at the intersection of pedagogy and user experience. Your job is to translate learning objectives into interactive modules that feel more like apps than textbooks. Needs analysis, storyboarding, prototyping, and SCORM packaging happen entirely on your laptop, and client reviews occur asynchronously across time zones. Salaries vary wildly by industry, but six figures are common for those fluent in tools like Storyline and Captivate, especially if you sprinkle in UX writing or accessibility expertise. Senior IDs often step into learning experience architect roles, shaping long-term strategy instead of single courses. 4. Remote Curriculum Developer. Curriculum developers build the roadmap for what teachers teach. Districts, publishers, and ed-tech vendors hire them to craft scope and sequence documents, lesson scripts, and formative assessments that align to state or IB standards. Collaboration is digital. Shared drives for drafts, Zoom focus groups with pilot teachers, cloud-based analytics for field tests. Strong writing skills and familiarity with academic standards beat classroom management experience here, making it a welcoming lane for educators who want to flex their creative muscles without wrestling with 30 students at once. Mid-career developers earn around $75,000, with senior curriculum leads edging toward the $90 to $100K mark. 5. Remote Test Prep Instructor. Standardized tests stubbornly drive admissions and certification gates, which means families and professionals keep paying for score boosts. As a remote test prep instructor, you'll run virtual classes, dissect practice tests, and coach students on time management. Digital proctoring tools simulate real exam pressure, so your living room easily converts into a high-stakes training ground. The gig is peak season heavy, think spring for SATs, fall for GMATs, but that seasonality lets you travel off-peak or stack side projects. Hourly pay often climbs past $30 for top scorers, and veteran instructors can pivot into curriculum writing roles or start their own test prep brands. 6. Remote Education Consultant. Maybe you're less interested in lesson plans and more intrigued by systemic change. Education consultants audit programs, advise on technology adoption, and train administrators, all without boarding a plane. Virtual site walkthroughs, cloud-based data pulls, and Zoom workshops make global clientele feasible and profitable. Deep K-12 or higher ed experience is your calling card, but an Ed.D. or policy background can catapult you into five-figure monthly retainers. In the long run, consultants who specialize, say in bilingual education or ed-tech procurement, can evolve into chief academic strategists for multinational organizations. 7. Remote ESL Teacher. English remains the lingua franca of business, and demand for ESL instruction shows no signs of cooling. Videoconference classrooms feature breakout rooms, instant polls, and dynamic subtitles that rival physical immersion. A TESOL or TEFL certificate helps, but cultural sensitivity and clear pronunciation matter just as much. Because student time zones span the globe, you can build a schedule that fits your lifestyle: early morning sessions from Bogota, late night lessons from Bangkok. Average pay lands in the high 20s per hour, but group classes and specialized business English can nudge that higher. From here, you might ascend to lead teacher or academic coordinator, overseeing entire virtual campuses. 8. Remote academic coach. While tutors target individual subjects, academic coaches tackle the meta skills: study techniques, organization, motivation. Using screen-shared planners and digital habit trackers, you guide students to set goals, monitor their grades, and bounce back from setbacks. A counseling or advising background is invaluable, and motivational interviewing can transform mediocre sessions into life-changing ones. Average earnings hover around $40,000 a year, but the emotional payoff, watching GPA curves rise, is priceless. Senior coaches often become directors of student success, shaping retention strategies at online universities or boot camps. 9. Remote Education Program Manager. If spreadsheets excite you more than lesson plans, program management might be your lane. You'll scope new initiatives, handle budgets, recruit instructors, and report on key performance indicators. Think of yourself as the conductor of a virtual orchestra. Asana boards replace office bulletin boards, and Zoom town halls keep stakeholders aligned across continents. Experience in project management methodologies, plus a knack for grant writing, can land you a median salary nearing $70,000. From there, directors and VPs of education command six-figure ranges and steer organizational policy. 10. Remote Learning and Development Specialist. Finally, we return to the corporate world with learning and development specialists, the strategic cousins of training specialists. Beyond designing courses, you'll measure return on investment, run skill gap analyses, and align training with business outcomes. Master Kirkpatrick evaluations, brush up on data visualization, and you'll prove your programs actually drive revenue. Salaries cluster around $90,000, and promotion paths lead to head of talent development roles where you'll influence company-wide upskilling initiatives. The big picture. Across all 10 roles, a few trends stand out. First, asynchronous collaboration tools, LMS dashboards, cloud authoring, PM software. Mean location is irrelevant as long as bandwidth is stable. Second, data literacy is the new black. Whether you're tutoring or consulting, the ability to analyze learner outcomes sets you apart. Third, credentials still matter, but demonstrable project portfolios and soft skills like communication often matter more. If you're itching to jump in, start by assessing which part of the learning journey excites you most: teaching, designing, managing, or advising. Then build a micro-portfolio, a sample lesson, a curriculum map, a mini-needs analysis. Post it on your HireBasis profile, and let employers find you. Because the truth is, the classroom walls have crumbled. The only limit now is the strength of your Wi-Fi signal and your willingness to hit join meeting. So charge your laptop, warm up that webcam. Your next teaching gig could be one click away.